Factor completely x to the 6th minus 64p to the 6th. There's no greatest common factor, so we move into counting terms. The first term and the second term, we only have two terms here. So we can either look at difference of squares or difference or sum of cubes. Now this is an interesting problem because we can treat this as a difference of squares, because this is an even power, and this is a square, perfect, and this is an even power. But we can also treat this as a difference of cubes, because this is power is divisible by 3, the cube root of 64 is 4, and 6 is divisible by 3. So the question is, how do we proceed? And in general, if you can treat as a difference of squares and as a difference of cubes, do the difference of squares first. It gets you further along, and since we're trying to factor completely, that's what we want to do. So difference of squares is two binomials. One's plus, one's minus. These are conjugates, and it's the square root. Now, when you have an exponent, square rooting is just dividing by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. X cubed times x cubed is x to the 6th. And square root of 64 is 8, and p cubed, 8p cubed. And as we distribute this to check x to the 6th, the outer and the inner products cancel because of the plus and the minus, and minus 64p to the 6th. Okay, so we have it factored as a difference of squares. Now we recognize that the first one is a sum of cubes. So the first one will factor into a binomial and a trinomial. And the second one will factor into a binomial and a trinomial as well. Give myself a little more room on this one. There we go. So the first, the cube roots of x cubed is x. Cube roots of 8p cubed is 2p. And that's the same sign. And then the first one squared is x squared. The opposite sign, the first one and the second one multiply to be 2xp or 2px, to alphabetical order, alphanumeric order. And the second one squared is plus 4p squared. And that one is factored. Now the second is a difference of cubes. The cube root x and minus 2p. The first one squared, x squared, the first times the second, and opposite sign, 2px, and the second one squared is plus 4p squared. The trinomials, from factoring a difference or sum of cubes, are either prime or a waste of your time to try to factor, and so this is factored completely. I hope this helps.